Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is January the 30th of 2024. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. I'm offended by selling. All right. Hello, my elite friends. I decided to do this show. I've been thinking about doing this show for a while, but I just walked down and up 7 flights of stairs. I'm like, I'm doing this now. Let's see how quick I can get a show on before it gets dark in Salt Lake City. And so it's still a little bit, it still takes a while to set up this show. It's a total joke, but whatever. Here I am. I'm going to do a show about Yaron Brook. Now, a lot of you who are familiar with my channel, who actually have memories, which is few of you, will remember that I've been talking about Yaron at least since 2020, if not beforehand. And I have much respect for him. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because I think a lot of Bitcoin people are going to be hearing about him soon. He might be involved in a debate with someone soon. And I know all of you love debates and you love to live vicariously through other people, which I don't recommend at all. Instead of like craving these debates and living through others, you should just learn about stuff and try to improve your own lives. And, if you want to get in an argument with someone, be my guest, whatever. But I think there's a lot of, people who love these debates just trying to get out some aggression. I don't know, some deep-seated psychological problems. Anyway, the point is, I do not agree with Yaron Brook on anything, on a lot of things, on quite a few things. We'll get into that. But I've learned a lot from him over the years. And this is why the big takeaway from this is that, don't abandon watching a smart person just because you don't totally agree with him on everything. There are going to be subject matters. When someone covers as many subject matters as him, you're gonna find some disagreement. Now, he covers some Bitcoin. He covers some Trump. He covers some Israel. He's a true capitalist. I will tell you that. My basic understanding of capitalism, what I go by now, comes from him. I think he's got the best videos on capitalism. I have much respect for those videos. I have much respect for the Ayn Rand Institute. So he's linked to below. Their videos have been great lately. Ayn Rand and Yaron Brook have been great on Israel. They make a clear definition of good and evil, which I think is lost a lot in this world today. A lot of moral equivalency, all this nonsense in the world today. Pound that like button, people. Come on, elite friends. Just because I haven't talked about the Bitcoin price yet doesn't mean you be silent. Ask questions. Do a super chat. Now, that's something that people get annoyed with Yaron about. His shows, he asks for money a lot during them. He gets a lot of money from his followers. So a lot of people don't like that. There's envy of him on that. I have no problem with that. It's kind of funny with just how many times he does it during his shows. But let's get into what I have written down here on my piece of paper that I've been writing on. And, all right. So, again, I make this out of respect. And so, first of all, Sam Harris also has a great video on Israel. It's actually better than anything Yaron Brook has put out lately. I linked to it below. I retweeted it. And much respect to Yaron, I copied him on Twitter on this Sam Harris video. And he retweeted it. He doesn't have, he's not a stuck-up dude. If someone makes a better video than him and someone says, this video is better than what you've done, he'll retweet it. Now, what Yaron's been putting out is excellent material on Israel. Excellent. But what Sam Harris just came out with is the best Israel video out there now. And I don't know, Sam Harris, I disagree on tons of things with. Tons. That guy's wrong on plenty of stuff he's wrong on. But he's got the best Israel video out there right now. So that's linked to below. So separation of money and state. Separation of money and state, that is something that Yaron has preached, and he should actually say it more clearly. That's something I got from him. A clear interpretation of it, at least, I got from him. And if you truly believe that, you don't spaz out when there are other coins out there. You don't spaz out when there's gold. Okay, You don't say, I mean, you agree that the United States shouldn't arrest people that don't use the dollar or something ridiculous like that. People should be able to choose what type of money they want. The government has no say in, defining what money is. Let the people, let the market decide, okay? Now, Iran's solution, part of the solution to the current Federal Reserve issue, and is to have a gold-backed dollar again. And again, he does not. He has known about this is an embarrassing point about him. He's known about Bitcoin at least since 2018. He did a video, I think, in Puerto Rico about Bitcoin in 2018, and he's bad with it. He's bad. I mean, maybe he doesn't have the time to learn about it. He actually understands some aspects of it. He knows the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yet, all this time, he's like, he's been saying for years, if you send me Bitcoin, I'm going to change it into dollars right away. And if he just would have held on to some of this Bitcoin when people were sending him Bitcoin when it was $3,000, he would have done, so he could be impulsive. He believes, live life to the fullest. And he really takes it to an extreme. He says, if you know how to handle debt, then get into debt and to live your dream. He buys what he wants immediately. I don't think he's very good at saving. I'm a lot younger than him, and I've reached his economic goals, should we say. And that's because of Bitcoin. I'll leave it at that. But it is, if he wants to have a conversation with me, I can give him the specific numbers, and he will confirm that, yes, I've actually gotten to where he wants to be in life economically. But that's because the dude didn't want to learn about Bitcoin, and because he spends a lot of money. He spends a lot of money on some things that I consider to be quite frivolous. But he doesn't. So, we all have different values. We all value different things. Some people value NFTs. Some people value digital assets. Some people value fast cars, etc. Be happy. Live your life to the fullest. And the dude is definitely living his life to the fullest. But, I talk about offended by selling. Dude, he's like the case in point, man. It saddens me that he sells his Bitcoin right away and whatever. There's a balance between, there's a balance between impulsivity. He's not being impulsive for the sake of impulsiveness. He has the reading, but if you just would hold back a little bit, if you would just save with Bitcoin, it's a 4-year cycle, dude. And the dude is in the longevity and stuff. He's in, he was the one who informed me about Health Nucleus in San Diego, which I paid a lot of money to go there for a year to have these tests done on me. And I recommend them for the tests. The tests were great. The tests helped save my life, really, long-term thinking wise. Yeah, the tests I got at Health Nucleus were well worth it. But again, this is one of the weird things. He believes in experts a lot. And if he thinks someone's an expert, he really believes them. Now, one thing I didn't like about Health Nucleus, and Yaron, if you're watching this, yeah, when I signed up for Health Nucleus, I said I'm signing up because Yaron Brook told me about it. So he always wants people to donate to his show. Well, that was the way I donated to his show right there. I think he got a little bit of a discount because I signed up under his name or whatever. But I'm also giving him this free publicity, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not a moocher, although I encourage people to mooch off my show. I don't care at all. I don't really care. But they're learning. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. He says value for value on his show. It comes back. I love the networking. I love to meet people. I think that's my value that I get from some of these shows. That's why I don't say, no, you must pay. There's certain people who try to guilt you into paying. He almost tries to guilt people into paying. I don't try to guilt people into paying. If you want to ask a question right now, type in Bitcoin Meister, do a super chat. I'll answer your darn question, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So, Health Nucleus, the issue that I have, I believe we had the same doctor there from what I gather. I'm not going to, say why I think, but I was not, having these online meetings with this doctor, that was included in the big price. No, that wasn't worth it, okay? And he signed up for another year afterwards so he could keep having these doctor visits. And I don't care how discounted it is. Some of the stuff this doctor was telling me, no. And I think he gets caught up in, he thinks this person's an expert. And they have smart people there. They have great state-of-the-art tests there. But, I mean, they've got a California attitude there, too, where they're really laid back about certain things. This doctor was very laid back. And just, it's not my style at all. And this doctor was not right about everything. And if he cares a lot about his health, he maybe should have known that he should have trusted some other things that he already knew, whatever, but he's satisfied with it. I would not, again, I recommend Health Nucleus for the tests, but to sign up, the doctor, the value add from the doctor advice that they give you, they try to say, oh, you could call the doctor anytime, you can call the doctor. I mean, no, it's not that good, dude. It's no. The tests were great, though. Life-saving tests, doctored. But okay, that's just a little nitpicky. He's really anti-religion. It really, religion really gets. Now he grew up in Israel and everything. He was totally secular. Most people are secular there. He has said things about Chabad. He's not knowledgeable in Chabad. He insulted them once. That it was wrong to insult them. I don't think he even realized because he didn't like the Malay. He loves Javier Milei for being, Javier Milei is going, balls to the wall as much as he can with the capitalism stuff down in Argentina. And he respects that. It's not, he doesn't like the Republicans here who just do a half, job of trying to change the economic system. I mean, and most of the Republicans are into economic fascism anyway, where they pick winners and losers. And Yaron is very clear, that's a mixed economy. That's saying it nice when the government picks winners and losers. It's fascism. It's economic fascism. But with Milei, he doesn't understand why Milei likes the Rebbe of Chabad and why and what this has led Yaron to in the past to do, which I don't like. He talks about what states are the best, and he really leans toward the leftist enclave. He believes the statistics that the leftist enclaves give in terms of crime. He can admit that some of these cities like Chicago, New York, San Francisco, their governments are totally out of control. They're not competent people, yet he believes the statistics coming from the federal government, and that the federal government is totally out of control. But he believes there's statistics. He believes there's the statistics of these cities. I don't think he goes to the actual inner cities. I mean, he hasn't run around the ghetto of Baltimore like I have. And I've run around the ghetto of Baltimore like few white men on this planet have. Pound that like button. I'm not ashamed of, in this, at least after the year 2000, back in the day, there were plenty. But this is, no. You don't see what I would run through Baltimore. The parts of Baltimore, I would get respect from the people in the street. They would recognize me immediately as being the guy who would run through there. And there was no reason a few of them recognized me too. But it's so rare. It's so rare for someone that grew up in the suburbs to see the inner cities and how they have deteriorated in such a way. And even he lives in San Juan. He's there for the tax reasons. Good for him. But I don't think he gets it. Like, he lives in a gated community. He admits his condo is, gated or whatever. When he lived in Southern California, it was a gated community and everything. And good for him. Good for him. But there's a disconnect there. There's really a disconnect. So he recommends states to move to, which great, this, that, and the other. And he rips on Utah. When people ask him about Utah, he rips on it because he immediately says the Mormons. He immediately says the religion. He can't take the religion. And that is just so, it's terrible. It's great for Salt Lake City because it keeps a lot of California people away from moving here. This is the best city in the United States of America. The Mormons I don't care what the Mormons believe in. I don't care. They don't force it on anyone. They don't. So like, he has this extreme, religion is horrible, religion is bad, blah, blah, blah. And then that colors his views toward some cities in America. Yeah, but then he believes that statistics of the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, her crew, he believes their statistics. He goes to Chicago, he goes to nice conferences there. Has he ever walked around the black ghetto of Chicago? And no offense to black people or whatever, but that's what it is. Has he ever, I want to get down to the nitty gritty here. The nitty gritty of it. Again, respect people by their cultures. And that's something that he talks about too, that there are some cultures that are evil, that some cultures are inferior. And I've discussed, the Salt Lake City culture is great. The Baltimore culture is victim blame. It's horrible. And by the way, so he rips on Utah, as I don't know, ripped on. But he gave a talk in Salt Lake City at University of Utah. This is a leftist city itself. It has a democratic narrative, but he doesn't take the time to, when he's ripping, he's not from the United States originally. And I think that still colors. He doesn't know all the nuances of all these places. I have run around the ghetto of San Juan, by the way. I ran it. Yes, I did. In 2018, when I was in San Juan, I didn't go to his part. I ran around. It was from the hurricane or whatever. It was still abandoned. I mean, some parts of it looked like Baltimore. Now it was a lot safer than Baltimore, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So, sometimes he calls. I think he says that Fox News does exaggerate certain things. Okay, but there's certain. These cities in the inner cities of America are really bad. They're really bad. And I challenge him to walk around some of them alone. And he's been in the Israeli army. He won't be scared. He won't be scared or anything like that. He should really take the time to see it instead of making these broad generalizations that, he agrees with the mainstream media talking points with so many things. The mainstream narrative is that, the conservatives exaggerate how bad the inner cities are. No, the conservatives might have not been to the inner cities, but what they're saying is actually true. It's bad in America. It is. There's violent crime, and I talked about 10 years ago when there was an attempted mugging of me, and I ran away. It was awesome, and the Baltimore City cops told me to call them and everything. Later on. Someone called me, then they told me to call them. They had no idea what I was talking about. They don't record. I know other people that have dealt with crime in these inner cities. The police don't want to record this stuff. They don't. It's too much paperwork. So much now more than ever because of paperwork, because they're lazy, because there are horrible cops. It's just not being recorded anymore. And he makes it like it's like conservatives and Republicans are exaggerating. No, there's underreporting, and he just blindly believes stuff. So that's the ugly there, I guess. But he's introduced me in terms of people that he has on his show. Alex Epstein is the best on climate change out there, and that's one of the weird things. Yaron and ARI, they love Alex Epstein. That's totally against mainstream talking points. Being, calling out climate change and saying, indeed, if there is climate change, some people can make a lot of money off of it. Some places are going to do well off of it. And he believes it's a golden age and we can do better. We can make this world a better place with technology and solve all our problems. I love that. I love that positive thinking of Yaron, of Alex Epstein, everything like that. So he's neither left nor right, really. A lot of things that he says are kind of sound like they're leftist or whatever. But he does believe his naivete seems to go toward the leftist side and what the mainstream narrative is. Now, at the same time, ARI and Yaron Brook, they were they had their event in Washington, D.C., where they were making people prove that they had the shot and everything. And it was kind of embarrassing. And they're very pro-vaccine, and they have no doubts about it. On one hand, they could go with Alex Epstein but they have no doubts about, literally, it's been bad with Yaron sometimes during 2020 and 2021. It's embarrassing if you go back to some of his shows, some of the things he said. And that Indian objectivist guy that he had on, I forgot the guy's name, Amesh Amalda or whatever his name is, telling kids to get vaccinated. Amesh said that, pregnant women, Yaron, I think Yaron has kind of said, I don't want to put words in his mouth in terms of the pregnant women and the kids now. Let's hope that he can say that wasn't the best idea. It was just not net. He has said, the kids should have gone back to school. It wasn't affecting the kids. He keeps saying how bad a job Trump did, Trump's the job that, the only thing that Trump did that was bad was that he used it as a political tool. And when the governor of Georgia, who he didn't like, wanted to get rid of lockdowns, was when the governor of Georgia was doing the right thing, Trump said it was the wrong thing. And, Trump didn't need to do anything forceful. He needed to say something forceful at first. And, he believes all this. He says that Trump, said the thing about bleach and this, that, and the other, all these nonsense things that don't even matter. He says Yaron says not to worry about politics too much, but he seems to worry about politics a lot. I mean, if you see the videos, and he says he doesn't like doing the videos about it, but he does have TDS. He says that TDS is an excuse for Trump cultists to not bring up a point. Now, what I think Trump derangement syndrome is, I think he's got some valid points against Trump. He's got some very valid points against Trump. When it gets into TDS is when you start getting emotional about it, and when you start calling all his people cultists. Okay, there are people who like Trump. They do it for strategic reasons. And he starts making weird voices when he imitates a Trump supporter. And he just sounds like a crazy person sometimes when he's talking about Trump supporters and Trump. That's TDS. If he could just tone that down, then he wouldn't have TDS. I think people would respect him more when it came to the Trump issue. I think he should be very clear on, Trump isn't the end of the world. I don't believe Trump is the end of the world. I think that Yaron might think Trump is the end of the world. And it isn't. And that goes back to March the 12th of 2020. And Yaron has admitted with his own financial business, he did horrible then. Horrible. I mean, he got taken to the cleaners because of what happened when the whole world panicked. He wasn't ready for that. I think it was some leverage issues. I don't know how. He didn't do well in 2020. And this goes back to the Bitcoin thing again. Everyone here knows that was one of the best days of my Bitcoin life, when I bought 2 more Bitcoin for a total of $10,000. And those were the 2 proudest Bitcoin that I own, because I wasn't leveraged, because I already had Bitcoin, because I couldn't get canceled, because of a lot of things. I had cash on hand to buy more Bitcoin. I didn't panic. I don't know what Yaron had to do, to his for his clients, for his portfolio. And he's not going to say, because his industry is regulated so much that he can't even say. It's a joke. I agree with him on that, that it's way too regulated, the financial industries that he deals in. But yeah, he got taken to the cleaners. And the Bitcoin people that day who held on, who bought like me, I mean, that's a lot of, yeah, it was really good. If I would have had to panic, if I would have had to sell my Bitcoin, like he had to sell some of his assets most likely, that would have been devastating. Selling Bitcoin for $4,000. So I can only imagine the stock market went down horribly that day. Everything went down and was down for about a month. And he had to sell. He had to reallocate. Who knows what the dude had to do. He said he readily admits, and this is another thing I respect about the man and everything like that, okay? He admits when he makes a mistake. He admits when he gets taken to the cleaners. He admits when he gets the beat down economically. He got the beat down economically in 2020. The Bitcoiners like me who bought more, who had cash to convert into Bitcoin, who didn't sell. There were plenty of Bitcoiners who were selling at 3,000 to it's going to go down to 2,000. I mean, panic in the streets became their status ways came through immediately, horribly. Now, I think Yaron Brook has too much of a. He thinks he wants the federal government to be more powerful than I think it should be. He does not get the estates. He's not into. He would rather it be everything more federalized in 50 different states. He likes that Canada only has one banking. They only have a few banks in Canada because the provinces don't have their different state laws. I mean, there's a point. That's a good. That's nice. That is nice, but. We have 50 different experiments here. Let the people pick which experiment they want. And if there's truly a separation of money and state, I mean, some states would just be so freaking free. I mean, if one state really did that, that would be the winner. That'd be where you set up your bank. That's where you'd set up his hedge fund and everything like that. It would be great. So that's why we need the choices that the states give us, and that we really stood in. And he also, the Declaration of Independence is not a governing document. And I think he knows that, but there's a lot of people who treat the Declaration of Independence as law. It's not law. It's a secession document. It's saying we don't like a faraway bureaucracy telling us what to do, so we want nothing to do with it anymore. So it's a secession, and that's what it is. And for that, we should love the Declaration of Independence, because our faraway bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. should know that at any time we can do that too. A state can go away or can threaten it, can use it as leverage or something like that. Oh, it's getting dark in here. We got Benjamin Dichter is in the house. Good to see you. Watch the show that he did with me. Let me go. Also, watch the last show that I just did with. Who did I do that show with? He's an awesome guy. It's linked to below. Mark. What is his name? I want to get his proper name. Mark Jeftovic, the Bitcoin capitalist. How could I forget the Bitcoin capitalist when I'm talking about a great capitalist? Now, let me turn the light on real quick. Hang on. All right, that's a little bit better, right? Yeah. Anyway, so something that Ayn Rand and Yaron Brook and ARI, what is it? What's her philosophy called? Objectivism. Don't sacrifice for others. Be proud of your success, and I say live that way, and success will keep on coming. Be proud of your accomplishment. Be a proud, unique beast with backbone. Be a confident decentralist. Now, I don't know how much of a confident decentralist he is. He's confident in what he believes in. I will tell you that. Oh my God. Now again, yes, some cultures are evil, and that's what he's getting into with the Israel situation here. You can't deal with an evil culture. If the evil culture keeps attacking you, you must destroy it. You must destroy it, or else you're not supposed to just. That is the ultimate in altruism. Just die for others, sacrifice for others. Sacrifice for your enemy. Let your enemy kill you. That's the ultimate right there. You can't do that. You can't do that. And he rationally, that has been lost today, which is unbelievable. Really unbelievable that's been lost. And some of the things he says are so common sense if you actually listen. So all right, we've got some other things here. Let me see if there are any questions here in the chat. Retweet this, people. I tweeted this out. Shoot, I hope I tweeted this out, didn't I? I better have. Yeah, I tweeted it out. So keep retweeting it. Let me see some final thoughts I had here written down. Okay, we talked about the religion in Salt Lake City and separation of state and money. And some people get a bad taste in their mouth when he's calling Trump people cultists. And at the same time, Yaron's followers. Oh God. I said I'm helping promote him. I respect him and everything like that. He's another way to promote him is give him money on the super chat. Some of his supporters pay him money to do reviews of movies. I mean, we're talking hundreds of dollars to do these reviews. So there's this irony when he's calling certain people cultists, and he's got people. And I mean, he even admits his movie reviews aren't that good. They're not that good. They're very short. And good for him that he can get away with it, I guess. But it's there's some irony when he's. Yeah, and there are some. There's definitely a Trump cult. But he immediately defaults to calling people Trump cultists sometimes, and just because you can put up with Trump doesn't mean you're a Trump cultist, and he knows that. But because of his TDS, he gets emotional and he gets caught up in the whole, But at the same time, he's talking about a cult. And at times, some of his people, I don't know if these are lonely guys or whatever that are sending him money. It's better to send him money for, I think, a review of a movie where they might learn something than just giving it to some woman who takes off her clothes. But I mean, I guess the argument could be made that if you send some woman that takes off her clothes for you and says you're her boyfriend for 2 seconds, I don't. I mean, God, it's really pathetic, the choice between those two, isn't it? Like, what's better to waste $200 on Yaron Brook doing a movie review, or if you're a desperate dude that hasn't touched a woman ever? I mean, what's best to have? I don't know. I don't know what's best in that situation. That's really a sad situation. But yeah, I do. And, I don't think he warns people enough when he talks about how he's lived off of credit card debt a lot. He's a smart man. He could do that. Dude, most people get crushed right away with that. And by the way, he got crushed in 2020 with his business. So, the debt, being in great debt, having leverage, and he is a financial expert. He does believe in expertise. He really gets down with these experts way too much. He doesn't question experts enough, I think, on certain issues. And I just don't think he has the time. He has to outsource things. He's a bad memory too. He talks about that. He does, like, my memory is incredible, as all you know. I could talk about things that happened to me in 2017 when I was walking around this place, that place, the other, or what my sister said to me in 2012. I mean, there's crazy things I can get into. What somebody was wearing. Anyway, okay, so I'm too far. But all right, let's see. Are there any more? Let me see if that was it. But anyway, the good, the bad, and the ugly about Yaron Brook, it's mostly very good. Do check him out. I think a reason Bitcoiners should really check him out is because separation of money and state, that they won't freak out if there's other monies, people claiming to be other monies out there. That competition is all right. So that's another thing. That this world is not a zero-sum game. That is something that Yaron Brook, I think that's a great lesson I took away too. That, there's we talk about trade deficits, and one of the problems with Trump is that, if China wins, the United States loses. No, we can all win. We can all win. And it's not just about countries winning. It's about the individuals in the countries winning. Let the individuals in the United States innovate. Get rid of the regulations. They will create huge new industries. And some dudes are going to get rich really fast. But some people that use their products will also become wealthier. And not as wealthy, but much wealthier. And Yaron, again, one of the things he reminds us of, how much better life is now than in 1994. I mean, some people weren't around in 1994 or whatever. Was I? I don't know. But if, it's look at the statistics, okay? It's incredible that, there was no such thing as an iPhone. Now, don't look at the statistics. Excuse me. Just look at what you would have. I mean, what did people do in 1994? What was the big O.J. Simpson on TV? On TV, three networks covered it, and cable TV. There was no internet coverage. There was no internet. That was the news. That was the big thing. That was it. And that's what the people would cover. You couldn't learn anything else. That was mainstream media for a while. Blah 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 blah. That was it. Now, what do we have? You're connected to everything in the world. You can know what's going on in Africa. iPhone, digital currency. People don't have to work 5 days a week anymore. It's just insane. People don't have to drive anymore. People, you can walk from home. All these different, it's just amazing what the big, what the Elon Musk have brought to this world. But he loves people like Elon Musk. If you haven't listened to Yaron before, and you hear him praise, the founder of Amazon and founder of Apple, Elon Musk, all the big names that AOC likes to vilify. You don't understand. You're confused. Some people will be confused. He says they're heroes. They are heroes. They are economic heroes. But that they're vilified. So Bill Gates is an economic hero. Again, not perfect dude or anything like that. But what Microsoft brought this world is incredible. Again, compare 1984 to now. But there was no Microsoft yet in 1984, probably. and just it's unbelievable. And this AI stuff that people are trying to scare people about, he loves, and because he doesn't believe in religion at all, that does open his mind to incredible human technologies, human alterations that I think a lot of people are scared of because of the Christian influence on morality and stuff. Some people that don't believe in God still believe in certain religious aspects, and on some level, those people who have religious beliefs without having religion are, if you're going to rank them, I give the pure religious, pure faith in God people more credit than them. But anyway, so that's my take. I wanted to talk about Yaron for a while. Much love, much respect. If you want a great take on Israel right now, he's the dude to follow. Watch his videos. Watch Ayn Rand Institute also. Again, the best video though now is Sam Harris, who again, Sam Harris has TDS. It's insane. Yeah, it's real bad. All right. And yes, other thing with Yaron Brook, you can learn a lot from a guy who's very wrong on Bitcoin. Very wrong on Bitcoin. You can learn a lot on economics from him still. He for at least separation of money and state. That's so huge. And you can learn a lot about Israel and a lot of things from the dude. So, just don't be turned off, people, by if someone, don't take things too personally. If someone supports over and over again something that's truly evil, and then okay. But then that person is truly evil if they truly believe in something that's truly evil for the sake of evil. And that's something. I'll leave you with this. Yaron says that a lot of people in this world today hate the good because it's good. They hate good because it's good. And they just want to tear everything apart that's good. And that comes from envy. And that is a sickness, man. That is nihilism, baby. And that really permeates mainstream culture. Hating the good and that's what Ayn Rand came up with, hating the good because it's good. That's a sickness. You should love the good. You should admire the good. You shouldn't want to tear everything apart. Because the people who want to tear everything apart, they don't know what comes next. They just are like, what is life? What is good? It's not good. Good is objective. I think it's good to just be nothingness. Something will come out of the new order if we just tear the current order down. There's no thinking involved. The best thing the objectivists and Ayn Rand and Yaron give to people is use your brain. Use your brain. Just try to think. Don't try to be emotional. Why hate Ethereum for the sake of it? What is Ethereum to you? Why do you hate Ethereum? Why do you really think? Why do you hate Ethereum? For the people that hate Ethereum, there's no good reason to hate it. There's no good reason. There's nothing at all. No logical reason to hate it. To making it, let it be a confident decentralist. Let the altcoins do what they do. You do what you do. You increase your pie. If you think the way to be rich is to be in Bitcoin, then go for it 100%. And then the Ethereum people will have fun staying poor, I guess. I think they're going to get rich too. But hey, that's me. All right, dude. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. This was a different type of show. But hey, man, I just want to do something spur of the moment real quick, see if I could get that off my chest. It was a weird time. So I don't know how many of you are going to see it, but retweet it. Maybe we'll get some promotion after this live show. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.